Commemorate your first Notre Dame game or that of a friend or family member with a Notre Dame Football Heritage Project certificate. Visit ndcertificate.com to learn more.
Hello, I'm Len Clark. Welcome to Irish Illustrated Sponsor Spotlight. On this edition, we'd like to introduce you to West Coast Screen Printing and Embroidery of Spokane, Washington. And joining us and representing the company is owner Tony Strand. Tony is a longtime Irish fan who we had a chance to spend some time talking with him this past football season. And we'd like to share some of the ideas that we talked about with you. Tony, welcome to the program and welcome to West Coast Screen Printing and Embroidery to the Irish Illustrated Strategic Sponsorship family.
Thanks, Len. Great to be here. I appreciate it.
Tony, tell us a little bit. Well, I'll tell you what, before we talk about it, let's see a little bit about West Coast Printing and Embroidery.
Want to take your business to the next level? Bring your brand to life with West Coast Screen Printing and Embroidery. From shirts, jackets, and hats to signs, banners, and auto wraps, we'll keep your entire company looking sharp. State-of-the-art technology, attention to detail, competitive pricing.
We're local. We're here to answer your questions and get you exactly what you need.
Great for any size business. Perfect for teams, events, retreats, and reunions.
Come see us first.
West Coast Screen Printing and Embroidery in the Spokane Valley.
Well, that explains it right there. West Coast Screen Printing and Embroidery, a member of the strategic partnership of Irish Illustrated's family. And Tony, tell us about West Coast Screen Printing and Embroidery and what our goal is with Irish Illustrated.
Well, Len, we have two locations. We have one here in Spokane, Washington. We have one in Tri-Cities, Washington. They're about a couple hundred miles apart from each other. But what we do is we deal with business owners that, just about anywhere you go, you're going to see some sort of branded apparel. Anything you're wearing, from the shirt that I'm wearing to the Comcast technician, everybody has their logo on there for brand recognition. So what we do is we take these companies and we sit down with them and say, hey, I can save you some money. Let's go over what you're currently paying, what type of materials you're using, what quantities you're buying, and let me see if I can work out a plan or some sort of formula to make it more effective for you, more cost effective for you. And we're printing 25,000 pieces a month between these two locations. And I think once we come up with this game plan that we're working on now, I think that we're going to be able to help Irish Illustrated out with their apparel needs. And, we've got the website built. It's as easy as just clicking a button and press and go.
Well, let me click a button. Let me show you what we're talking about. Irish Illustrated apparel, t-shirts, and a hoodie. So this is the Irish Illustrated hoodie that is going to be made available through West Coast Screen Printing and Embroidery. And Tony, tell us about it and how people can actually get this nice looking hoodie, especially now with the cold weather.
Well, so we've got 3 different styles of hoodies on the website currently, companycasuals.com/Irish Illustrated. It's literally just as simple as logging on, click on the hoodie or the t-shirt. They're both loaded. You click on there, choose which style. There's a basic style, which is like a 9-ounce hoodie, which is fairly decent weight, all the way up to like an 11-ounce hoodie, which is a little heavier for the colder climates. The heavier ones are considerably better quality for not much more money. We've got the Irish illustrated graphics right across the front, washable, machine washable. Literally, it's just an easy process and a great way to represent.
Let's take a look at that again. Here is the hoodie that is going to be made available. It is available on the website. And Tony, what is that website again?
companycasuals.com/Irish Illustrated.
And this is where you can go and actually get some items that say Irish Illustrated. But we're also going to be selling t-shirts as well. So the same website, you can go and just let everybody know that you're part of the Irish Illustrated Affinity Group. And this is something that we wanted to talk to you about because Tony came to us and said, hey, I've got this business out in Spokane. This is what I do. And, we're very successful and we want to partner with you. And so that really got the idea rolling, is how we could brand Irish Illustrated and really market it to the Irish Affinity base, the Irish Illustrated Affinity base. And this is an idea that we would like to take to the next level based on the conversation with Tony. And so, Tony, much like you getting into the screen printing and the embroidery and the t-shirts and the other items that are branded, we'd like to work with other individuals who have a product or a service. I'm really aiming it at the affinity group, those individuals who are part of the Irish Illustrated family. And so if you're a lawyer and you're looking to provide services to the Irish Illustrated affinity group, then this is something that we would like to work with you to expose you and introduce you to the individuals that make up our site, much like we did with Tony right now. And the best way of doing business, Tony, is just to do business with people you know or have a common interest in.
Common interest for sure.
Well,
And those people, most likely, if the opportunity to do business with somebody that they have no clue, or to do some business with somebody that has a similar like, I'm going to choose the Irish guy all day long.
Well, you're a big Notre Dame fan, so I imagine this is kind of exciting for you, actually doing business.
It is.
But doing it with a segment of the population of individuals who have a common interest. So tell us about your background, how you became a Notre Dame fan, and what you're really looking to do with this relationship.
Well, Len, my Notre Dame background started as a kid. I grew up in a little town called Wapato. Nobody here is going to know where that's at, but it's 7 miles south of Yakima, Washington. And as a kid, we had 3 channels, 2, 4, and 6. So if you were watching any football on Saturday, the only thing on was Notre Dame football. That's the only channels we got. So just through attrition, here we are. I'm a fan, and over the years, it's become more of a, I don't know. It's expensive. It's an expensive hobby / lifestyle for, it's basically a lifestyle at this point. And what I'd like to do through this opportunity is offer any of these Irish fandom the same opportunities that I give these random customers that I have no clue, these companies that I do business with currently. I'd love to set up a system where they can just click on our website and Irish fans their companies could save 25, 30% from what they're currently paying, just through sheer sharing the simple same interest.
Well, if individuals are watching and they say, hey, I'd like to, maybe learn a little bit more, how can they get in touch with you?
Simple, wcscreens.com. All of our info's on there. If they put in the comment box Irish 25, we'd know where it came from. It came from this podcast here, and we'd be able to save them a minimum of 25% on whatever they're spending right now. We know what the competition's doing, and we're cheaper, faster, and better.
Cheaper, faster, and better. And so that is part of the reason why we wanted to partner with you, is to help get the Irish Illustrated name out. But we're really looking forward to next football season. We'll wrap it up with the Gator Bowl on Friday, looking for a win by the Irish over South Carolina. But then the building process for the next year begins, much like the football team. And so we're already talking about designing a special T-shirt that will debut for the game in Dublin next year to kick off the 2023 football season. So Tony and I are looking at design ideas and how we can get that. But this will all be made available on the website. And so the best way to really represent the Irish is to have something that lets people know that you're an Irish fan, but more particularly that you are part of the Irish Illustrated affinity base. And so, Tony, it's a long trip from Washington out to Notre Dame, and you're coming back to catch in a basketball game, but you've been back on campus a couple of times this past year.
Yeah, we've been there two football games and a basketball game, and we'll be back late January for a men's and women's basketball game.
Take us back to the first time you stepped on campus. What was that trip like? What was it like stepping on campus for this first time? Was it what you imagined, and what went through your mind and your body at that time?
Well, she just gave me chills thinking about it, actually. It was about 05 or 06. I can't remember exactly the year. I think it was 06. And we played North Carolina, if I remember. First time on campus, it was cold because we didn't get fall tickets. We got late fall tickets. So we didn't get early fall tickets. But it was cold. But just stepping on campus and seeing, Touchdown Jesus or the Basilica, the Grotto, any of these things, it was emotional. To put it lightly, it was extremely emotional. All the things that I've looked at, read about, watched, researched, all those things, just it coming to fruition, just showing up and like, I'm actually here. These are the things that I've looked at my whole life. It's part of, I've dreamed about it and could fantasize, how do I get there? Finally getting there. And it was an emotional moment. The first time we went was with my wife. And then we've gone back every year for 1 to 2 games. At times taken my children, who are now all grown. We took 3 of our adult kids last year and one of my grandchildren. And he was 3 at the time. So we're hoping that for him, starting right out of the womb as a Irish fan, hopefully that he's going to have these same experiences growing up.
Well, he has to. Just looking at your cave behind you, you see all the
Most
Irish
definitely.
memorabilia, and it's just you're representing Notre Dame out in the state of Washington, which has a strong connection to Notre Dame football. You go back, and Brian Bullock, a longtime assistant under Eric Parsegian and a staple in the Notre Dame athletic department. Lake Dawson, back in the early 1990s out of the state of Washington. And I believe some wide receivers. So there's a strong connection. We'd like to have more. And just knowing that there's that connection out in Spokane, that there's a good possibility that you're going to help recruit individuals to Notre Dame just by representing us out there.
I bumped into an Irish fan yesterday having coffee. So, they're out here.
So how did that happen? Were you representing the Irish jersey and somebody happened to say, hey, where'd you get that?
Well, 99% of my apparel is Irish related. So, I probably have 300 Irish hoodies. And we walked in, my daughter said, hey, that guy's wearing Notre Dame pullover. So I walked right up to him, shook his hand, said, go Irish. And he's like, I love that sweater. I'm like, you got a great one too. And just hung out for a couple of seconds, but yeah, they're out here.
Well, that's the great story. But, I always like to talk with individuals about their first trip to Notre Dame. And you said you've come back many years, you bring the family members. Any one particular story that stands out from coming back all those years? Anything in particular, maybe a game, maybe it was something that happened before the game, just an experience of being on campus?
Well, the most memorable, which it's unfortunate, the most memorable is this is the first year I've come to a game where we lost. So
you were the person responsible.
Yes, I am the curse of the Marshall game. I'm the reason we lost Marshall. I like to pick games that I feel like I'm going to go back there. We're going to have a great time. We're going to kick some butt. And I thought that was Marshall, and Marshall surprised us. So, but probably my best experience ever was last year when I was able to bring my 3-year-old grandson, and he got to just run around he ran around the entire campus everywhere. And we got some great photos and some great memories.
Well, you've been back so many times. A lot of people watching this might be preparing for their first game. Any advice for people coming for the first time, what they should do and how they should plan and how much time they should allot?
There's so many great traditions, the trumpets under the dome, the marching band, there's so many things to do. Don't just come for 1 or 2 days thinking you're going to be satisfied. It is a 3, 4, 5 day deal, on a game weekend, and bring 3 times the amount of money you thought you were going to spend. Bring that, because the bookstore just will take everything in your pocket.
Well, we hope now with this relationship that individuals want to save a couple of dollars and buy some Irish Illustrated apparel through West Coast Screen Printing and Embroidery. But we've got a lot of ideas, especially for next fall. We did talk about the game in Dublin to start off the year. We got a strategic partner with Dublin Tours. And as I was telling Tony, right now, start planning your trip. Try to make your own reservations. We've got an affiliate link to help you with your transportation once you're over there. But it's part of that affinity group, sharing information amongst each others on how to make the best out of the situation and to maximize the experience. But the other thing that we're looking at is possibly having a tailgate, Tony, and having that. Hopefully, it would be great to have one at every game, but on a strategic game, possibly this year, individuals would come. Part of the admission fee would be having one of those T-shirts that you're going to be providing us, and that's what we're really really excited about. Not only Irish Illustrated covering the Fighting Irish, but being a part of the fan experience and helping to maximize the experience of coming to campus.
Most definitely. And those tailgate parties are wild.
Let's take a look at your website. Got a short video right here. Just kind of walk us through it. Here's the customized printed apparel that you're talking about. This is right on the website. It is WC Screens. Was it WCScreen.com?
WC Screens with an S at the end of it, .com. Yep.
And this is where they would go to click on the store to purchase the Irish Illustrated apparel then.
No, that's our corporate customers. You would go to companycasuals.com.
Yeah, we need to get that link out there for everybody. This will be on the video replay of it as well, but going there and then going through the catalog, if you will, of everything that needs to be offered. So It's not just hoodies and T-shirts. Anything can be done by your company. And so if there's a group or an organization or anybody part of the Irish Illustrated family, what other things do you specialize in?
We have lots of clients that basically we tell them, if you can dream it up, I can put it on something. So you want a purple penguin with your logo on it, put on the top of the roof of your car, I can print it. Literally the sky's the limit. So we get lots of people that want pins, lanyards, banners, decals, all those things. Just if you can dream it up, we can do it.
Well, we're going to do a lot of dreaming, but we're going to start off slow by the hoodie in addition to the T-shirt, and then we'll introduce the T-shirt idea for Dublin next year. But as a way to really kick it off is Jack Freeman of Irish Illustrated is putting together a Predict the Score contest where the winner of that is going to get a hoodie that says Irish Illustrated on it. And here's another look at what it looks like. And it looks really good. And I know we're excited about it. We've got a box coming our way. And so the Irish Illustrated staff will be outfitted with this. And Tony, it's just great to finally get together with a company that we have mutual interests in that could really help us reach out to the affinity base, the fan base, to brand ourselves and to keep Irish Illustrated as the top of mind media organization when it comes to coverage of Notre Dame athletics.
Well,
Tony, what's the best way of getting in touch with you if anybody is interested in maybe getting something done for their company?
The best way would be to go to WCScreens.com, because they can click on one of the links. It would either be the Spokane or Tri-Cities location, but right in the middle, it says get a free quote. They just click on that red button there. It says get a free quote, and it'll take them to a little fill in the box type thing, and it'll come right to my email. They don't have to remember a phone number or emails or anything. WCScreens.com. It'll take it right to my inbox, and we'll get to work on a quote.
And if you can dream it, Tony and the company can do it. West Coast Screen Printing and Embroidery, Spokane, Washington, but a proud member and a supporter of Irish Illustrated and a strategic partner. Tony, thank you so much for spending some time with us. I know you got a basketball game to watch, special team called Notre Dame playing Jacksonville tonight. And then on Friday, it's going to be the Gator Bowl. What's your thoughts about the game?
I'm pumped up about it. I can't wait to see who the starting quarterback is. This is a great opportunity for us to kind of show where we were, the power that we actually had this year. It didn't always come out how we wanted it to, but I think that they're prepared enough. And I think that this is kind of going to be retribution for Marcus Freeman, kind of picking up where he left off last year, kind of a ugly loss is his first game. I think he's going to come back and say, I'm going to win this bowl game.
They need to really go into the spring with some enthusiasm, but it's going to be a tough one down in Jacksonville in the Gator Bowl against the Gamecocks of South Carolina. Tony, thank you so much for your time. I'll let you say go Irish, and then we'll say goodbye.
Thanks for your time, and go Irish.
All right, Tony, thank you so much. And that's our sponsor spotlight, West Coast Screen Printing and Embroidery.